Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Francisco.
The talent just arrived. I
The only talent in this duo is you, babe.
No, I almost considered. I've been talking to our producer because Francisco has had a busy day and he's going out of town, and he was like, "Let's move it up, let's move it back, let's move up our recording." And so we move it up, and then he's not here. And I thought about just starting it on my own, but there's no fun in that when I could just wait on you to get here.
Yeah.
And Garrett and I are just chatting away about our baby lives. But I do want to say to everyone, thank you so much. We've had such a great response from the last podcast, especially even just up until recording right now. I've been going through some of your emails, and I guess it's when Fran and I speak so off the cuff about parenting and our relationship, I don't really always know. I mean, I know we have listeners because we have advertisers, and I know those of you are listening because we get a lot of people come up to us in public and they'll say things, but you don't always process it, because I like to think we have cool listeners too. Like, we don't have the listeners that are going to like bug us all the time, being like real critical, or they just won't listen, right? If you don't like it, you don't listen. Or you're not. I think we have the listener that eats at a restaurant and has a great experience but doesn't always go to the website and leave a review. That's who I am. I'm not a reviewer.
You're the bad reviewer.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to speak about that. Actually, that's great that you brought that up, because I haven't left it yet, but I'm going to. I have bad review intentions. I actually think that'll be one of the first times I've ever left a bad review.
What's the status of limitations for let something go?
Well, I actually forgot about it till you just reminded me, and I need to get back on my bad review. But thank you for reminding me. I'll tell everyone about it in a minute. But anyway, we've gotten like a lot of emails, Fran, and I know that I'm the one that has access to the emails, so I get to filter them for you. But I think you and I could maybe spend tonight and actually read some together and respond to them, because a lot of you wrote us about just the stuff we've talked about lately. I mean, there's an email in here kind of about religion and teaching your child, your religion, or if you've had kind of a change in how you feel. And so we've gotten emails about that, a lot of emails about the nighttime diaper solution, and everyone has said Sposies, the diaper pads. Now, I will tell y'all, I put an actual pad in Remy's diaper, and this stems from him. He wakes up about 2 hours before we want him to wake up, and it's really because he's soaked. And we did a size bigger. And we had some little Kotex pads because we put them in Wheezy's diaper. My mom had him over here for Wheezy, and I put that in the bottom of the diaper, and it's really alleviated just sizing up. And I put a pad in a couple of times, but sometimes we haven't. So anyway, thank you for that. But for anyone else, Sposie, Sposie, not a sponsor, but y'all have recommended the diaper booster pads for the diapers, and a lot of y'all recommended that. So
we still need to try something.
And then I've gotten a lot of comments just to me kind of about being the third wheel, but everyone's told me that that's super common. And some of you have written and said, that you're a mom too. How about this? The subject of the email, he's just not into me. Melissa said she has teenagers now, but unfortunately, you will feel this way often, Jenna. Some days I'm their hero, and other days they could not care if I was around. Completely normal to feel this way. And I want to say I love this podcast, even though I'm way past the toddler stage. I still think parenting and relationship talk is so relatable, Fran, and you are hilarious together. Keep it up. Well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Remy's been just a real joy lately. Like, they changed so much. It's so crazy to sit there and think about how much he's grown and how I'm having a lot more fun. I know that's a selfish thing to say. Like, I'm just enjoying this stage. I mean, I think you and I both are. We just had such a great weekend with him. We actually saw a podcast listener at the zoo. So thank you. She came up to us and said, it was on Saturday. She's like, I hope this Saturday's better than your last Sunday. That's I was so like, fun. Yeah, you do. Yeah. She was careful. She was like, is Jenna having a good day or not? I was like, no. This weekend, isn't it so funny about kids though? Like, I swear, it's just, and I like to say this now that I know and I've had a little bit of experience, it's like, if you think things can't get any worse, it's okay. They might get worse, but it's very brief, and then they're going to get a lot better. And if things have been really good for a couple weeks, you're probably in for it, and something's going to happen. A night of sleeplessness or teething.
Yeah, you have to have the contrast in order to enjoy the good. Like, your mom was funny yesterday. We were cleaning the house and cleaning the garage and doing some stuff around, and your mom was really thoughtful of helping us with Remy, and she was taking him down to play with his little pond, his little water table where
Yeah.
he gets soaked. And it's like, she's like, well, I'm gonna take him out to play with the water thing, and he's gonna get soaked, but you're gonna have to change him because he goes crazy mad when you change him. He's like, Candy, if you like the rose, you have to like the thorn.
Yeah, I've noticed that with her lately. She doesn't like to do the things that suck.
Oh, nobody likes. Like I get it. It's 100%.
Like everyone wants to rock them to sleep or pick them up from their nap, and it's like, no, 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 no. You
everybody
got to
can-
get in the trenches.
Yeah. It's not all about being the hero when he wakes up.
I said that to Fran, on my we had a great weekend this last weekend. We'll tell you about it. But like the weekend before when I had the meltdown, I said to Fran, I was like, I feel like I just have like two babies, one a little more grown than the other. And all I do is follow you or both around and clean up after you. And then you're just hanging out, creating memories. And I'm just like here, like a shell of myself. That's how I was feeling. It's hard. It is hard. It's a lot of women though. I don't know if I told you this, but Fran doesn't help me sometimes because he goes, I know it's a lot of burden to be the favorite parent. And I'm like, fuck off when I'm upset. Like, don't say that to me.
Well, it is, babe. With great power comes great
How
responsibility.
does that make me feel better? I fucking birthed him. I went through all the IVF, all the shots, I did all of it, and you're gonna sit there and instead of supporting me, you're just gonna say I'm
Babe.
the favorite parent.
But you're the
Do y'all see why like there may be
You're the
murder
second
before the end of
favorite.
this show? Wouldn't y'all kill your partner? I know y'all love Fran, but that aside, the fact that you aren't sleeping with Fran, you aren't married to Fran, you just get to hear Fran once a week. Do you see what I deal with? Breaking my heart.
Well,
What is your attitude today? Where's this coming from?
which attitude?
Bragging about being the favorite parent.
There's no attitude.
Rolling in late to the show and bragging about being the favorite parent. What's
Babe,
happening
you know
here?
I'm just kidding. There's no attitude. There's just I think
Look at what I'm wearing today. Like I'm
I
in
think there's
pajamas.
no
You're dressed
favorite.
up.
There's no favorite parent. I think there's as you've read in that email, sometimes he's more into you than he's into me, and sometimes he's more into me, and it's just like that.
I've had a lot of people, women, write me and say the reason the child acts up the most with mom and the hitting and kind of just the acting like he's ignoring me and stuff, it's because he feels closest to me. So he knows he can kind of act like his true self. What?
Fist bump.
Is that a fist?
Fist bump.
You want a fist bump?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing now? Is a forehead kiss next?
Yeah. No, we like that's exactly like I really believe that. I really think that it's because of that. He's like you don't see it as I see it. Every time you leave, he goes into a like he thinks that you're gone forever.
Yeah, it's sad.
And I can for sure see that. Like the way that there's no one like mom.
I think it's just, I don't know. I'm fine. I'm doing okay. I'm fine with it. It just is what it is, right? It's just kind of rolling with it. And I guess you just always think you're going to look forward. The beginning does feel, I hate to say it, like a burden, but you're such kind of a slave to the baby, as the mother when you're breastfeeding and just everything in the beginning, right? Especially like all the stuff that I think is more unseen by your partner. And I think you see it and appreciate it, but there's so much like always having like bottles clean and pacifiers on your person and ready and the diaper bags packed and backup things just everywhere, when we go out to eat and water cups and just like all these little things. It's so exhausting because you're always thinking about all the stuff that we need for him. And there's just so many things like that when they're really little that then, all of a sudden to see y'all bonding, I always thought, oh, it'll be so nice to have him like not want me and not be attached to me and want dad to put him
and
down.
And you will have that same issue when he does.
Oh, when he wants me all the time and then
when
I'm
he
tired.
Wants you all the time, you're gonna be be like,
yeah,
fuck this shit.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You guys know.
I'm not. But no, he loves me. I know he does. It was just hard. I was getting my period too. And
Also,
I just wish every man 1 week of their entire existence could experience, period, cramps, a little touch of childbirth, and then there'd just be
We experience it
no, you would have so much empathy if you could actually experience it. I'm not, you get to experience
secondhand.
the wrath. You don't get to experience the actual symptoms, and it would just be so fabulous for you. I heard that getting M-Sculpt feels very close to like mild contractions, so I
Let's
think
do
I'll
it.
take you in for some. What
100%.
body part do you want to sculpt?
All of it. Like what you like? Does Miguel Angel Bonarotti just went and sculpted an arm? He sculpted the whole body. Like if we're gonna go in, we're gonna go in hard.
You want to do everything.
Everything.
I don't know if they can.
I'm not into working out anymore. I just want.
I don't think they have like M-Sculpt for ball sacks.
Well, almost everything. Okay. Ball sacks
Or face.
There's M sculpt for face.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought just
They're
the neck.
patches.
Really? How do you know? It looks like you've already done some research.
Because we've been talking about it. So Instagram, make sure that I see every ad.
We've been talking about this. Is the first time I brought up M-Sculpt, and like I don't know how long.
Myself and my other friends. You
and
know?
your other friends that you're out with.
Yeah. My med spa friends.
Interesting. I'd love to see the ads that you're getting on your phone.
It's so funny.
Why? What are they?
It's just people getting M sculpt. It's just like this woman with patches all over her face.
Have you Googled M-Sculpt recently?
No.
You're just openly talking about it?
Yeah.
Oh man, baby. All right. Well, we'll work on it. Fran and I did a big undertaking this weekend. Well, it was really me for weeks being like, I want to do this. And I keep saying it, but if you don't actually set aside the time, it's not going to get done. So I had my mom come over because, you know, it's impossible to actually get home improvement stuff done when one of you has to be watching the child. And
when one of us is unimproving the house as we improving it.
Yeah. So I got my mom. I was like, please come over on Sunday for a couple of hours, because all I've wanted to do is turn part of our garage that has just been, it was really twofold. I knew by having a project, it would get us to finish the garage because it still just had, you know, probably a dozen boxes everywhere, Christmas decorations packed up that we hadn't, you know, everything's just all over the place. So it looks pretty amazing. Actually, I walked out there today. I'm like, we did pretty good yesterday. So we got stuff in the attic. But Fran, your ADHD or ADD, I don't know which one you have officially, but it becomes so apparent to me in moments like that. So I was like, okay, we're going to do this. So I was out there for a couple hours before Fran came out because I had a bunch of stuff to go through, maternity clothes, things like that. So I'm going through, of course, I tend to put like I'm a trasher. Like, this is going out with bulk trash. Don't even care. If I haven't looked at it in a year, it's going out to the trash. So I like to say I'm good at letting things go. So I put everything out and I'm like, Fran, I need you to go through some of it, which is always the danger, because if I let you start picking, Fran's definitely like hoarder saver. Like if he bought it at one point, even if he doesn't want it anymore, he wants to see if he can maybe sell it down the road, which is fair, which is fine. I just want to make sure you do it. And so I have him come out. I have him start loading up stuff up the stairs that go up to the attic, the lighter boxes. And so I'm like helping put stuff up there. And then he goes up there, y'all. He doesn't come down for 2 hours. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's fallen through a hole in the ceiling. I'm like, what are you doing up there? So of course he has his like tool belt and he finds things to fix. So instead of doing the garage, he's now found a new project. And then the same thing, you start putting together some piece of workout equipment you bought on Facebook Marketplace at some point when like
a year ago.
Was it a year ago? And it's been sitting there. Anyway, it was so funny because I'm like still doing the whole original project, and Fran's like, I don't know, you find a million things to do.
Allergies. So I am very ADD, and the things that it's exactly how my brain works. Like I start one task, and that's why I need those things that blocks everything else.
Yeah.
I like start one task. No, like an app. And then, like right now, I start thinking about something else, and it's like, oh my god, that's priority also. And then I start doing that, and then it just goes nonstop.
I never understood how severe it can be because I think we all have touches of ADD, but I am definitely not ADD. Like I can start a task and finish it. And I definitely will find myself getting distracted, but I'm very self-aware of it. And I'll be like, no, back to what I was doing, you know? And so, yeah, I noticed that, but it feels nice. It feels productive to get the house together. By the way, like home ownership kind of fucking sucks. Like it's a lot, right? Like it's expensive. It's the yard. People are so unreliable. Like I just got no-showed for a new yard person on
We have
Saturday.
gotten a lot of
We've gotten a
no-shows.
lot of that. Like we have this tiny pool and a tiny yard, but we need help because now it's been like months. And so, but like everyone just kind of screws you over and stuff. And it's just hard to kind of figure out. Now I get
It's just
it.
hard to navigate. Still a better deal than renting, but
I guess it's
it's
still
just
scary.
Yeah, it's just the difference between knowing that this is yours, and
And
if
what
it falls apart,
happened,
it's on your dime.
by the way, at like 3 o'clock in the morning last night, Remy woke up and then I look over. You're not in bed. You weren't in his room because then I heard him still crying. But then I heard something above us and I was like, is Fran on the roof?
No, so what happened last night was Remy wakes up. I look at the camera, and the first camera I see is the outdoor camera, and it shows that our gate is wide open. So I went to address that. And then I remember that I've been hot the entire night. And I was like, well, we have two switches next to each other in our attic, and one is the furnace. And I was like, maybe I turn, and I look at the attic and the light was on. And it's like, yeah, wrong switch. And so that's what I was doing.
Oh, I see. Wow, that's brave of you to venture up into the dark attic in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it because I don't want to have to deal with anything like that when you go out of town. I hope everything's squared away.
Well, we put fresh new baits and traps in the attic. Yeah. Um, it's a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Like I can
By
say,
Fran means the pest control guy finally came over and set some traps.
100%.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know you had a hand in that.
And well, I was the one that told the mofo to go up there. Otherwise, he would not just volunteer to go into our attic. So a we situation, we went and put fresh. And if we do have a rat, now I have cameras up there that are looking at all times.
If we have a rat, we have fucking Noah's Ark around here. Like I've become friends with a possum. There is a small
Inside the house.
The raccoons have procreated. So they are also, they might have, I don't know if raccoons and possums mate, but they're going to the same place under the deck of the house. So
I think they only fool around.
Like I feel like
69s and stuff like that.
What?
They I don't think they actually mate because there's no purpose in that. They actually, I think they just.
Do you think people only mate for purpose?
No, but there's no, like, I don't think they match their genitalia. It just doesn't.
It doesn't. You know about raccoon and possum
But
genitalia?
all those kinds are
not
so
lining
weird.
up?
Like cats. All of those type, like,
I've seen a
genitalia
pit
are
bull and a
weird.
chihuahua product, by the way, at a birthday party the other
remember.
day. Do you remember
I
how scary that
remember,
dog
yeah.
looked and how sad that must have been for whatever chihuahua parent that
I would
was?
beg to differ. Like, maybe the chihuahua was like smiled from ear to ear. And I don't know if the chihuahua was the dad or the chihuahua was the mom. Maybe the chihuahua was just a fucking badass that just decided to.
Do you think the
hump.
chihuahua mounted? This
Yeah.
conversation's going off the rails. But regardless, we have cute critters around here. There's a giant bunny that comes out at dusk.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think there's anything too terrible and invasive. There's an owl. There's an owl. And then someone sent a photo of a bobcat the other day. So we got to be careful with Wheezy.
Yeah.
We have such a
Killing the
dilemma.
bobcat?
I don't want to be a downer on this week's show at all because there's so much to be down about, I think, for so many of us. And, you know, as we're recording this today, there was a school shooting this morning, which is just like a whole nother thing. And, you know, just another reason I don't want to live here. And it's just like staggering statistics because I know there's a lot of people that are like, it's everywhere. Guns are everywhere. It's dangerous. It's like, no, actually, the United States is far and away like the absolute worst place for gun violence. But even Mexico, one of my girlfriends lives in Mexico, is like, do you know that in like a course of, I think there was like 12 years, there were 8 school shootings in Mexico, 12 years. Everywhere else has less than 3 or like 2 or 1 or 0. We've had 288, you know, in 12 years. And it's just insane. Yeah, it's awful.
It's just crazy because because yeah, like Mexico, we have a lot of violence when it comes to cartel and stuff like that. But in the majority, they're only killing each other.
Sure.
Having a kid taking a gun, first of all, having a gun in Mexico, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna laugh. It's very tough to buy a gun legitimately. It's really tough. You had to go through a 2-year process around
Mm.
and have to know how to shoot and all that. And you will get the permit by the military. The military is going to give you a permit where you can carry a gun. And it's still very restricted. It's still, you can only have a 380. That's the maximum caliber. You cannot have a 9mm or a 45 or a 10 mil or anything above that, or anything that the military uses.
How hard is it if you wanted to acquire a gun, just like for us? Sure, we can have this conversation about marijuana or about heroin or fentanyl or any of these other drugs like that are illegal. I could find it if I really wanted to, right? Even as a regular person, Fran, like if I were to go into a bad part of town, I could find drugs if I really wanted to. Or is finding a gun in Mexico that easy?
No.
No, not like buying drugs.
No. It's like if you want to buy it in an unlawful way, it's, I'm pretty sure, way easier. But still, like there's not like, there is no advertising like, hey, like drugs, like you're not gonna get stopped by the cab driver and it's like, hey, do you want a 45?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Especially because they're so controlled by the cartels.
Yeah.
Like the black market in anything is so controlled by the cartels.
So you could get one. It'd just be a pretty dangerous. I mean, like your average teenager is not gonna.
You'll be putting yourself in more danger. The only, like, there's like parents that have a lot of guns and that have that. That's a different story because at some point in Mexico, they were legal. They were allowed, and you were able to have, like, my grandfather had like a whole artillery, and he passed that on through his kids and stuff. So there's guns. There are guns at home
from families.
Yeah, but not as many. Like you cannot go to a armory and buy a gun if you're 18 years old.
And I think that's just what so many people don't understand. And I don't even really want to get into this kind of conversation. I know it's such a polarizing conversation. I mean, I would hope innocent children dying is not a polarizing conversation, but of course, it's America. You can't take away my guns. I don't really think that's the discussion people are trying to have anymore. It's just the process is, there's no process. It's super easy in a sporting goods store to buy one with like no mental health checks. And it's just awful. I mean, to a point that Fran and I are like, we really kind of want to get out of here, out of the United States. I mean, I'm not able to fix any kind of problem here, and it's just awful to turn on the news every day and see that, especially I'm sure a lot of you feel this way as parents. I mean, I can't even really have a conversation about it without getting super emotional because I can't imagine. I think a lot of us probably feel that way. You drop your kid off and you just hope now, right? Like it could be the safest school and the safest place, and you just hope that there's not some crazy person out there, just the randomness of all of it is really tough. But I don't want to focus on that today. It's just been on our mind because this is, a conversation that Fran and my mom were having earlier. But we have other exciting things, other uplifting, feel good things as we try to do to talk about. Mainly my mom this morning. My mom watches Remy one day, well, like a day and a half a week is kind of the deal we have right now. And she's always like, what do I make him to eat? What do I do? And I'm like, I don't know. Look in our fridge and freezer because we have like everything imaginable now between some of the great endorsements for the show. We have so much food. I'm usually always stocked up. So I'm like, you just choose. So I see her in there. I see her scrambling an eggs on our caraway pan. She's like, this pan is so nice. And I'm like, yes, it is. I love this caraway home stuff, y'all. And they're
the best.
New sponsor of the podcast, but Fran and I have been lucky enough to be trying out this cookware for the last few months, and I love it. And I've been, of course, getting a lot of questions from you. Does it scratch? Does it stain? And on and on and on. And I'll say no. We've had it for months now, and I use it at least one of the pans every single day, right? Because I'm always scrambling eggs or at least cooking like a soup or a stew or something like that. So
They're so cool. That coating, that ceramic coating, is just in a different level.
yeah, so this is what's so great. High quality ceramic coated, as Fran said. It's free of PTFE, which is like Teflon, lead, cadmium, other toxic materials. So that's not rubbing off in the food. And the best part is, I know these are newer, but when you spray or don't spray and you cook eggs, like I literally don't even have to use anything to slide them off into a bowl. It's so awesome. It's super slick. So anything like that you cook, because that's always the biggest grind, isn't it? When you're like scraping food off and then you leave it in the sink to soak for a while. You don't even know what's coming off and all of that. So we have just been thrilled with this non-toxic cookware, especially knowing that we're cooking so much stuff for our baby and we want everything, even the frozen chicken nuggets, to be as
Clean.
healthy and
Yeah,
clean as
100%.
possible. Yeah, we absolutely love it. I know you're going to love it. Go to carawayhome.com/fitish to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. The deal is exclusive for our Fitish listeners. So again, that's carawayhome.com/Fitish, or you can just use the code Fitish at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. And the other thing, when I tell my mom, let's cook, she's like, I don't know what to make. And I'm like, Mom, just like have a gander in the fridge and freezer, especially when we've just gotten
A what?
a gander.
That's a gander.
A gander. Do you know? Could you like use process of elimination, context clues?
Like a box? Like a.
Well, it's like have a look around. A gander.
Oh.
Kind of an old word. Yeah. A gander is like
A gaze.
take a gander. Yeah. I shouldn't have said it that way. So let's talk about like have a look in the fridge or freezer. Thanks for putting me in check. But no,
I just didn't know, babe. I just like to know all the words that I'm receiving.
when we get a Green
And also
Chef,
our Hispanic people out there.
when we get a Green Chef order, this subscription that we have to Green Chef has been so awesome because something else I love is like, oh, I don't know if I want to cook a lot this week, so you can like pause it. It's not just because you're going on vacation, right? You're like, I think I just need a break from cooking. At least that's how I am. I know some people only like to pause things because they're going to be traveling, but let's be real, like I'm kind of a on a week or two, off a week type of person when it comes to cooking. So I don't want food to go bad. So I can just get in here and pause the order because I know realistically I'm busy and I'm not going to want to cook this week. It's like exercise, a week on, a week off, and that's totally okay. But Green Chef makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle. And what I love especially is how detailed Green Chef is about, the type of diet plan that you're on, or, let's
goals.
Well, sure, but it's more like, are you Fran and I love to dabble, let's say, right? In, more vegetarian leaning meals. And we may just want to do it for like a meal, right? Or a week, and we'll try because we're definitely meat eaters in general, but we like to say, okay, you want to do paleo, you want to do keto. I mean, keto is always a great place to land if you're trying to be more
100%.
conscious about your nutrition, what you're eating, and Green Chef can accommodate that. They are the number one meal kit for eating well, with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. And again, keto, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, gluten-free, or regular. If you're like, I'm open to anything.
Just throw me something in the plate.
I have no restrictions. So again, this is where they're going to send you all the ingredients perfectly portioned out, right? And the fast and fit ones, by the way, we need to try these because I know I've done the keto and the vegetarian before, but these recipes are under 750 calories and ready in less than 25 minutes. And of course, you're going to cut down on meal prep because everything's pre-portioned and prepped for you, including the sauces, the spices, and the dressings. So they make it super easy. Go to greenchef.com/Fitish60 and use the code Fitish60. That's FITISH 60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Again, greenchef.com/Fitish60 and use the code Fitish60 to get 60% off your order plus free shipping. Green Chef, the number one meal kit for eating well.
We're lined up to look sexy this summer.
Yeah, we just gotta like put the effort in.
Well, like we have the healthy eating. We have pants that we don't need to put any oil on.
Pants, yeah. I was joking.
We have a gym coming up.
A gym coming up if we can get it
At
together.
least 2025, we're gonna have rocking bodies.
2025?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the goal.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe Remy start working out with us at some point.
We gave in and got a zoo membership on Saturday, but I'm excited about it. It's great. I know the zoo.
I came from the zoo. I was in the zoo. I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna start going more often now that we're a member.
It was like, you went by yourself? You know, the thing about the
I
zoo
saw
that takes the
cute
pressure
monkey.
that takes the pressure off is like, we just did the North America side. You know, when you go to the zoo and you pay for these tickets, I think kids under 2 are free anyway, but you pay, it's crowded, it's a lot of walking, you stop to eat, you like ride the carousel like we did. He loved it. Like we didn't want to go to Africa. Like usually we always go to Africa, right? Because you want to
I've never been in that other side that we went to.
Oh, baby, it's called North America, our homeland. That's where we went.
That's funny, amazing.
Yeah, North America.
So I've never been in North America before. I've been in the zoo a handful of times, and every time that we go to the zoo, it's Africa. Like it's so amazing not to have the pressure, to have to do it all at the same time.
It was great.
You want to stretch those $22 as much as possible.
It's true. No, it's not just the 22. It's expensive, and I bet for people that have multiple kids, the parking. They want to buy toys. You want to buy food. It's like going to the amusement park. It's like a cheaper version of Disney in a way. Like it just shit gets really expensive, and it's such a grind to like spend all day there. They get tired. They need to nap.
That petting zoo.
We did good. He got to see goats. He's doing his farm animals. We ate at that restaurant. The food was actually great for like zoo food. I was super impressed. They had a quinoa bowl. Did I get it? No, but they had it.
You know about it.
They had salads. Did I get those? No. We got a burger and fries and chicken tendies, but like it's still cool that they had that. They had local beer.
Well, you don't want to eat the kale bowl. You think that you're taking away some animals' food, you know?
Like, the lizards. Yeah, we showed him the snakes. They were feeding the snakes. So it's so weird to watch little kids watch snakes eat mice and like choke them down. And the little kids' faces, the ones that are old enough to understand what's happening, are like horrified. Because it is kind of scary watching those snakes eat mice.
Yeah.
I also feel conflicted. The zoo's kind of sad to me. Also, I understand that. But I think it's an enriching learning experience with the animals. Like, locked away, which I don't love that, but it's there and it's an activity.
And we left without monkeys in our backpack.
And I'm just removing my moral compass for now. Yeah. We didn't steal the monkeys. They were back. We checked on them.
Yeah, we saw the tamarind.
The tamarind, isn't that what it was?
That he had a blast. Like he just smoked some weed. He might have got fondled, but he was too high to know.
Stop, Fran.
He seemed pretty okay.
So yeah, we just did North America, and then we looked at each other. We were like, "This was a great day on our first day of membership." So we left because now we know next time we go
literally
back.
just went to have lunch at the zoo.
Kinda. It was a process.
Yeah, and pet some animals.
Take our time. That's like one thing with kids you learn, like just stop being in a rush. And that's been the hardest thing. Out of everything, no, it's been one of the hardest things that I can't just like go, like I used to get so much done in the day and that just doesn't happen anymore. It's like, I can't just like go anymore.
No, it's a different mentality that you have to have in the daily basis when you're planning something that involves leaving the house.
Yeah.
Whether
nap time or before
whether you're
time,
taking Remy or not. Because I have to plan my day, I have to plan leaving the house at least 15 minutes earlier than I planned, because it's the 15 minutes that takes me to say goodbye to my child. It's just the
How's
process.
that been working for you?
Doesn't work out right because I'm being delayed 30 minutes.
Yeah, because you're already 15 minutes late.
Yeah, because
normally.
I'm already 15 minutes late. And it's like, he sees me, he wants a hug. I let him go, he wants another hug.
You gotta leave.
But I do want another hug. I get it.
You created such drama this morning because he cried and then you stopped at the window. It's like you wanted him to cry. Like it was filling some void inside of you. So Fran stands outside the front window and he's like, and Remy's like, and Fran comes back in and they have an emotional reconnection, and then Fran's like, bye, and he leaves again.
And then I came back
3 times.
And then I left him in the office with you, and he was happy with that.
He wasn't. I distracted him, even though I was in the middle of a meeting, and my mom's like, Fran does this every day. He cries for daddy.
Every day.
Every day, I know.
So and I need to budget time for that because that's gonna be a process that's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be less and less. But we need our time to say goodbye.
Speaking of saying goodbye, we're gonna have to say goodbye to Wheezy here at some point. Was that a transition? Okay, that was morbid. I said I wasn't gonna be sad today, but I've kind of measured whether I want to talk about leaving a negative review for an experience we had or this, and I think people are gonna relate more to this. So I've made my decision about my negative conversation. It's gonna be about Wheezy. It's not negative. It's more just kind of trying to ask for advice because I think owning a dog and when they get older and certain health things happen, it can be like really difficult. You feel bad. Like I'm just gonna say it. Like you get left feeling like a horrible person when you opt to like not do something. But I just want to kind of present y'all with this scenario. And I know that a lot of you write me when you have to kind of like put your dog to sleep and how did you know and how did you handle it. And so I just kind of like sharing my thought process. But I had to do this with Maximus, the last dog I had. You didn't know Max. It was before I met you. And he was such a great pug. And he got the diabetes and he had to have 2 shots a day and we couldn't regulate his levels. And so he ended up going blind and deaf like over the course of a weekend when I was out of town for work. And it was very quickly downhill from there. Like I think another week or two after that. And then I made a decision to put him to sleep. And so with Wheezy, we're dealing with a different dilemma and it really fucking sucks. Um, Basically the gist is she's been peeing blood and like not able to hold her pee. And so, we live in this house and she's here. And if she's unattended, I mean, she's just like peeing nonstop, right? Like everywhere. And so, like every 10 minutes, for instance, a little bit, right? So she's obviously having a really difficult time with her bladder. And, after the last year of this on and off, not blood, but like kind of having these, what I thought was just UTIs, the vet fucking sucks, right? Like this vet that we had been taking her to, they're charging, $300 every time to test her urine, telling me there's no infection, take some anti-inflammatory pills. Like they give me like 2 doses.
But
And then it's
$300 like the entry. Like you
sure.
were in
Oh,
the
sometimes it's like
$300.
700 and I'm like,
But
what are you testing
the
for?
least average has been 600-700.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're gonna do a sonogram and look at her bladder, right? And then it comes back and they're like, we didn't see anything. And I'm like, so I just paid $700 and didn't see anything. Like it's such a fucking ripoff, and I hate it. And so then, recently we decided to shift her to another vet and who's like doesn't seem to be a money grabber. And then yeah, basically the gist is they think that without doing this expensive test that she probably has some cancer, a cancerous mass by the bladder putting pressure on it, and that's what's happening here. So knowing that, I have a guy friend from college who's actually a veterinary radiologist, and so he looked at her scans for me and he says that it's kind of indeterminable. And so the only way we can know for sure is a $3,000 test that they go in, they have to put her to sleep. They go in, they can like determine with no uncertainty if it's cancer or like stones or benign or whatever. But it's $3,000. Like, y'all, $3,000 is insane. Considering then I go, well, what's the next step, right?
We have to
Then
prostitute the dog. She better be okay for that.
She's not gonna be breeding with anyone either because she's what you're just
Well, she's only gonna do it for money. Like it's not breathing anymore.
So, but then again, you ask yourself, okay, so you pay for this test, right? If you even do this, then what's after that? Okay, let's say it is cancer. Well, she's 13. We're not doing chemotherapy. I've always told myself I'm not going to put a dog through that. Maybe if she was a puppy, but like even at that, I just don't know. Dogs are all about like the quality of their life in the day and the day before, right? It's not about this long-term plan. And it's just, it sucks to be here because she's otherwise happy. She's eating, drinking okay, and has energy and likes to run around. So for now, it's like, well, why are we going to do this? And I have a feeling what's going to happen is it's probably going to get worse. Or what's going to happen, they told us, is that if we don't do anything and it is cancer, that like one morning she'll probably just have like total kidney failure, like won't go to the bathroom. And I'm going to obviously have to take her in immediately and put her to sleep, like with no notice whatsoever. So I think that's just kind of what we're preparing ourselves for. Cause it's like, I don't have that kind of money, especially now, like I know it sounds terrible, right? When you say it aloud that you're like, well, I don't have that kind of money when maybe you do have the money, but like, I don't have the money because it's
The thing
like,
is that it's just matter of quality of life.
Right.
And money has
Why
a lot to
subject?
do.
It does have a lot to do with it, in my opinion, because $3,000 to then what? But I would say the same thing about $1,000. It's like $1,000 to then what? Find out what it is when
And
obviously it's something.
If
And
they were to tell you you're gonna pay $5,000 and your dog is going to for certain live 5 more years,
okay, I
I'll
do
pay
it.
$5,000 in
Yeah.
a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And
But 3,000 just to see. They said there's a test that's $800, but it only 50/50 helps you understand what it is. And they have to put them to sleep and stick something in there to hopefully get some
I'm pretty
cells.
sure there is a veterinarian convention, and I'm pretty sure it's next to the mechanics convention.
Yeah.
That they just laugh all day long. Like, let me hear this one out. I had a pug, little pug, and I charged these motherfuckers $3,000 for a
Yeah.
fucking exam that it took me like $30 to make.
It's just such a shame. Like, there's good vets out there, I know, and I'm sure there's a whole reason behind why that business price model is the way that it is. But it really sucks, to get to this place, because I think you think when you own a pet that they're going to get old and at some point they're going to die. But like, it's kind of all these in between things that happen. They get more expensive, their health is failing, and then you're faced with really hard decisions. So, I've just decided, unless y'all have some advice otherwise, I've just decided that I'm just going to let her be happy. And as long as she has some pain meds, she doesn't seem to be in pain, we're just going to keep day by day kind of riding it out. She's wearing a diaper. She's okay for now, and they said even with chemotherapy, when a dog has cancer, if it's pretty advanced, that if they like can't remove it, if it's not like they're amputating something, that even with chemo, it gives them 6 months more than they would have had. So if she has 6 months, then it would give her a year. And like, that is just so not worth it to me.
But in the shadow of this sad news, I just had an amazing business opportunity idea.
Okay, please share. Great timing.
Pet hospice. Doggy hospice.
Yeah.
We have someone going to your house, take care of your pet for the last 3 weeks, charge $10,000.
Do you know how long hospice with a pet could last, though?
No, but this is going to be like a time thing. It's going to be like, or if you want to have it for more, we'll just have to charge $30,000. But anyhow, we'll touch the details about this.
Scammer. You ragging on how shitty vets pricing is, and then you're coming up with an awful idea.
If you cannot go against them, join them. So I'm gonna go to that next vet convention. Like, hold my beer, I have a better one. Puppy hospice.
Puppy hospice, Fran. I apologize for him today, but you are funny. I mean, I look at it as if you can't do anything about it, then try and laugh about it, right? I would love to hear y'all's thoughts, though, because I know it's really hard to make decisions like this with the dog. I do want to add that a vet some years ago gave me great advice. I really liked her. She was a pug owner herself, but she said to me, I go, how do you know when it's the right time? And I've gotten this question from a handful of you over the years when I've shared about having to put him to sleep. And it's like, how do you know? What do you do? This is awful. Like, they're sick, but they're still like wagging their tail. And that's what I mean about this decision. It's not as like cut and dry sometimes. And she said to me, make a list of your dog's 5 favorite things, right? They don't have a whole lot of things they love, I'm sure. Like, some dogs love to play fetch or chew a bone or go outside on a walk or just sit outside or be rubbed, right? So make a list of your dog's 5 favorite things. And if they're not even enjoying the top 3, like if they don't care about going outside, if they're not chewing their bone, if they're kind of lethargic and they just don't seem to care that much about things that they used to really love, then it's time. And you need to understand that dogs really only live in the moment. They don't remember years and years ago like we do. They don't have this sort of like vivid recollection of everything. They really only know how they're feeling like now and yesterday, kind of Nemo style, and it's like, all right, well, or Dory. I guess it was more Dory, like the
Dory.
forgetful one, kind of like that, right? Like they know you and their feelings for you, but they don't know everything as we remember, and attach memories. And so that really helped me at the time, because he was still wagging his tail when I would pet him, but he couldn't see. I would go to work and come home and he wouldn't have moved because he was terrified because he couldn't see anything and he'd bump into the walls. And he didn't really care about food and treats when he used to love them. And so I just kind of felt, I think now's the time.
Yeah, I think Wheezy still like has some
Wheezy's
life.
fine for now, but I'm
Yeah.
just trying to give the advice of like,
How? Yeah.
because I
the
think
steps.
what we tend to do is we keep dogs alive for too long for our own needs because it's too hard to let them go. And sometimes they live for us, you know, and that can be kind of selfish because they could be in a lot of pain. And it's like, anyway, that's just my little 2 cents on. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
100%.
had to put 2 dogs to sleep like that in my life, and it sucks
Oh, it sucks. It sucks.
that we outlive our pets, and it just sucks. And every
It's
time
just
you do
hard
it,
to
you're like, I'm never
understand.
getting another one. But this time, I really don't think Fran and I are going to get another dog for a while.
Yeah.
Not with the baby until.
No, I think we're gonna wait until Remy can be responsible with that.
And I just hope he doesn't. After showing him those snakes, and I've been making snake noises, he better not fucking want a snake. I do not want a snake.
Well, that's why I brought pest control, so we don't have a unwanted
Good.
one.
I don't want a snake. That's just not my vibe. You know, I really hope he doesn't want a snake. I'll take him to play with snakes.
They're really intriguing creatures.
Stop
though.
it. Don't even start going
Like,
down this path.
crazy
Whatever.
intriguing.
You don't want a snake? Or is
I
it
don't-
spiders that you're terrified of?
No, I spiders I don't care much about, but
By not caring much
snakes,
about, you
like,
mean they terrify
so
you?
there's been several times that I want a snake because I knew someone that had them as pets, but the amount of time that you have to put into it.
Sure. Like most pets. It's a lot of
Oh
work.
no, cats you can just let them roam. I would never have a cat, but they're just like you just remember of them like from time to time. Like they can graze. They have all this. But that's I think the least time consuming pet is a cat. But the snakes, if you don't take care of that snake for a day, that snake cage or whatever is going to stink like a mother.
That's disgusting. I'm sorry. And if you have snakes, that's great. I think I love animals in general. I just don't want to be taking care of a snake every day. I don't love them. I like snuggly things. That's me.
They could snuggle.
And strangle.
They show love in a weird way.
You walk in there one morning and Remy's whole body's inside that snake.
Like
A
Remy,
tiny snake has
spit it
swallowed
out.
Remy. Yeah. Well, on that note, I'd love your feedback though. You know, always shoot us a message at info@fitish.com. And before we wrap up today, we are very close to launching the new business, Super Featured.
Yes.
I am actually looking to reward.
I'm super excited.
Me too. I want to reward some of the tried and true loyal fans and listeners. And I asked the rest of the Super Future team earlier today if it was okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to gift a handful of y'all the new product if you want to try it here in the next couple of weeks before we launch, if you'll leave a review on the site when it goes live. But if you want to be considered for this, you have to shoot us an email at hi, and it's spelled like high in the sky, HIGH at superfuture.com. Make sure you're signed up at the website for the email as well. We're going to gift a handful of y'all some of the yet unannounced product to try and test and leave a review for us. So email us there and I'll get back to you when we're ready to ship it to you. But otherwise, yeah, email us about any other questions and we'll see y'all next week.